Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Somehow I already have to do another eyeshadow palette declutter when I did one earlier this year that was drastic. I was getting rid of eyeshadow palettes, but yet here I am with this big old pile behind me, and it's to the point where I'm like, you're doing a lot, so some of you have to go. And y'all know I don't play when it comes to my declutters. Like, you gotta go, you got to go. Okay, so if you guys want to see what I'm keeping, what I'm letting go of, and why, then let's go. So first one I have is this Revlon and Wonder Woman collection palette. I do recall trying this in one of my trying new to me videos, but like the color story isn't saying much to me. There are specific shades that I'm like, you're cute, it'd be nice to have you, but I'm pretty sure I have those in other palettes, so it can go. We're just gonna go ahead and put the ones that can go down over here. Next one I have is this Fenty Beauty Moroccan palette, which it is nice. I will say, out of the eyeshadow palettes that Fenty has launched, this is the one that I like the most out of all of them. But I don't use this like that. I feel like I'm only keeping it because it's Fenty. I think they did come out with more of those, like those little mini eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like I can wait until the next one that they come out with, because I mean, it's nice on the eyes, but I don't use it like that. So I'm gonna say that one, it can go. I know I probably just hurt someone's feelings by saying it can go, but it can go. So this is the Urban Decay Wired eyeshadow palette. This was a gift, so it's not going anywhere. I don't like giving away gifts that people got me, and actually now that I'm looking at it, child, I think it's a gift that I forgot to use. So if you're watching this, my bad. But now it really can't go anywhere because it's a gift, and it's a gift that I haven't used yet. So I'm gonna keep this off the strength of it being a gift and off me never using it before, and it is colorful. You guys know I like color eyeshadow. So like I at least need to try it before making an opinion on the actual formula of this. If it's anything like the Naked palettes though. So next up I have the MAC Selena Collab, and I feel like I can't get rid of this because it's in collab with Selena, and I mean, in this household we stand Selena, okay? She's right up there with Celine Dion, especially if you're Caribbean. But when I look at the inside of the palette though, it's like, I'm not gonna use it. If I kept this, it would literally just be because it's in collaboration with Selena. I love Selena. I wish I had gotten that like fanny pack that was part of it, but it sold out by the time I was online. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go because, you know, like, there's really no reason for me to keep this. I have not opened this since the video that I did on the collection, but like, yeah, I probably just want to keep it. I probably just want to keep it for this, but I feel like at this point, like, y'all know what MAC's eyeshadows are like. That I feel like, you know, because at the time they didn't have like the most competitive stuff like that, like everyone was like MAC, MAC, MAC. Now that you have like other eyeshadows, you're like, you know, you were kind of just okay. Like, you were just kind of just there as far as the eyeshadow goes. Actually, let me put that one aside because I'm filming a full face on that brand, so I'll decide if I want to declutter it after that video. But listen, one of the best eyeshadow palettes to launch this year from Mcgrath. It's like almost half the price of every other palette that she's launched. I have this, wait, no, is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, right? Yeah, because it's one of those palettes where, like, some of the shades, depending on the light that you're looking at it, it looks like a different color. So I literally am wearing this on my eyes, and I'm like, wait, is it this palette? But me holding it this way makes this shade look purple, but if you're you know, holding it a different way, it's green. That's the color that's on the front of my eyes. Mcgrath eyeshadows are going to do what they have to do, and the fact that I can get it at a cheaper price. I was gonna say reasonable, but you know, it's $78. So at a cheaper price than what her eyeshadows usually are, I hopped on this one, and I'm glad that I did because the shimmers do what they have to do, the mattes do what they have to do. If you can catch this palette and you wanted to try her stuff, I suggest that you do. This is not an eyeshadow palette, that's a face palette. What is this? Face by Kareem. This is his collaboration palette. If you don't know who Kareem is, he is another best launch this year. This is the Makeup Revolution Tammy Clark palette. I would say I probably use this in about 85% of the videos that I uploaded this year. This is what it looks like on the inside. I cracked the mirror that comes with this. It's a nice mirror too. But anyway, this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It gives me everything that I need. Everything. I'll use this with like other palettes, or if I pick up a different palette first, I almost always end the eyeshadow look with this one because it just does what it has to do. And Makeup Revolution has eyeshadows. Like, I love the formula of their shimmers. It's like that kind of putty shimmer which is going to be pigmented on the eye. It blends well, it plays nice with other eyeshadows, so I don't have any complaints. Miss Clark did what she had to do. This is the face palette that I held up before. Like, this is also part of the collection, which again did what had to be done. This is what the inside of that looks like. But you'll see this palette again in the yearly favorites, so no reason to spend that much time on it. Moving on, that's not an eyeshadow palette. Now, y'all knew this wasn't going anywhere. Y'all know this is not, oh, she has been used, okay? The Jackie Aina palette, this isn't going anywhere, okay? Again, did what had to be done. This is what happens when you give creators a opportunity to do a collaboration and they deliver, okay? They're like, listen, I know my audience, I know what the people want, and I'm gonna give them that, and that she did with this one. Best eyeshadow palette that ABH has put out. The shades in here for my skin tone, chef's kiss. Again, the shimmers with that kind of putty type of formula. They have a name. I think they're like foil eyeshadow, foil shimmer, something like that. But usually when palettes have that type of shimmer formula, I like it. And again, this just gives me most of my everyday eyeshadow looks. Thanks, Jackie. And then we move on to Colourpop. This is their Fade into Hue palette, which is fairly new. It's a rainbow palette, which would usually have me excited. But if you guys saw the video where I tried this out, not impressed, like, at all. I feel like at this point, we're just launching things to launch things from Colourpop. Thoughts not being put into what's being launched. Like, it's a rainbow, colorful eyeshadow palette. And like I was struggling to get the color to show up on my skin, and then I didn't like anything about the palette. So moving on. This is the Naughty palette from Huda Beauty. This is the first eyeshadow palette I tried from Huda. I was impressed. I liked it. It was nice. It was it wasn't, you know, a Pat McGrath type reaction, but I feel like it falls in line with the rest of Huda's collection, where like her stuff is nice. Some of it's expensive, but it's nice. You don't regret it once you buy it. Again, this is more so on the neutral, well, more so pink neutral eyeshadow palette. I haven't played around with this enough for me to say like, okay, you can go now, especially since I like it. Like, if I didn't care for it, I could easily just be like, okay, it's time for you to go. But because I like it, but I haven't played around with it that much, like, it's got to stay around a little bit longer for me to enjoy, right? This is Essence Water eyeshadow palette, which I haven't tried at all. I think it's like a whole, ooh, Zodiac, almost dropped something, a whole Zodiac collection, but I only kept this one because I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius are water signs, right? No. Are they an air sign? What is an Aquarius? Is an Aquarius a water sign? You're not gonna read it out so people can hear you, but Siri says Aquarius symbol is a sign of water, but Aquarius in an air sign. I think it means is an air sign, which would mean I kept the wrong one. I thought it's okay. I thought an Aquarius was a water sign. Well, you learned something new. I guess I'm an air sign, so I kept the wrong one, but this is also the color story out of all of them that I liked the most, probably because of the blues. So I haven't tried it yet, so I'm gonna try it in like a either products I forgot to try video, or, you know, trying new to me video and let you guys know, because I don't think I've tried Essence eyeshadow, so I don't know what it's giving. What is this? This is Colourpop's Hocus Pocus, probably the best palette that Colourpop put out this year. It's in collaboration with, you know, Hocus Pocus, one of the best Halloween movies out there. I know some of y'all want to debate someone else, not me, okay? But the shimmers were nice in here. The mattes were nice, probably because they had to be deeper in this palette because of the theme of the movie. But looking at it, am I gonna keep this? Nah, it can go. It was nice though. If you liked it, you're looking for a palette from Colourpop that actually had depth, it's nice to check out, but am I gonna keep it? No. So I bought the Tammy Revolution Tropical Cannibal Shadow palette because after I got that first one, I was like, oh, let me check out her other collaboration. This is what it looks like. It was colorful, right up my alley, you know, Carnival. She is also Caribbean, right? Yes, I believe so. It was nice. I prefer her other collab than to this one. The shimmers in this one aren't kind of like the shimmers in her palette or the other shimmers that have been in their Patricia Bright collab. There's other eyeshadow palettes that I've tried for Makeup Revolution. So for that reason, I'm gonna let this one go. But this is an affordable palette. It's nice if you want to pick it up. I think it's at Ulta if you want to check it out. But I am going to let that one go. What is this? Honey from Colourpop. I definitely haven't used this. Ooh, we're gonna, no, we're not, okay. But it's a yellow eyeshadow palette from Colourpop. Now I will say, these like little mini palettes from Colourpop, no, you'll see the other ones. These are probably like some of the best if you're looking for color and if you're looking for color that has depth to it, that has pigment, all that stuff. Am I gonna keep this though? I haven't used it. Like, I could just easily give this to someone else because I'm sure I've got yellow in some other palette, yellow of death, that's like I don't need the whole yellow palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. What is this? This is Island Gal from Prime Beauty, which I still have not used. Why do I keep forgetting to try this eyeshadow palette? I feel like this palette's been through 3 declutters, and you know what? It's gonna make it through this one too because, again, like, it's Island Gal. There's no reason I shouldn't have tried this palette by now. There's literally a shade in there called Sac Passe. Like, what am I doing with myself? This will be in a video in the very near future because there's no reason I shouldn't have tried that by now. This is the Carity, what is it, 21 Highly Pigmented Matte Eyeshadow Palette. Let me tell y'all something. If you're like the makeup wearer who does all the elaborate looks, all the drawings on your face, like you need a little fine type of brush to really get in there and be specific, and you do color, you need this palette, okay? Probably one of the best as far as it comes to color, blending, pigments, all of that. And I think they're like a mid-range type priced brand. But like, you see how like I've hit pan on some of those shades, especially like during the Halloween season, where people get more creative and stuff like that. Like, I've been using this, okay? So this is not, ooh, I've even mixed up some of the shades into other pans because it just does what it has to do. One of the best rainbow-ish eyeshadow palettes out there, so that's not going anywhere. This is the NYX Escape Artist eyeshadow palette. I have, I think, a couple other ones that are like this. I still need to get, that's what I forgot to do. I still need to get that like 80 or 100 pan eyeshadow palette that they just launched to do a video on. So let me remind myself to do that after this video. But this is what the inside of this one looks like. I'm going to declutter this one because I want to keep the Modern Dreamer palette. So I'll tell you more about the Modern Dreamer because that's the only difference between those two palettes are the color stories. Like, the shades work the same, all that stuff. So like, I'll tell you why I want to keep that one. But this one I'm letting go of just because like this color story, she's a little too neutral for me. But like, if this is up your alley, then like you'll be fine with this palette. It does have a little bit more like a jewel tone down here, but like these shades up here, it's like I've got that in other palettes, and I get that in the Modern Dreamer palette too. So I will let go of this. I know y'all are tired of seeing this palette in declutter. This is from Sugar Pill. It's a customized palette. I bought this for myself like 2 or 3 years ago for my birthday, because like every pan I think is $10, something like that. So this ended up being somewhere around like $100 something. And I never tried it. In every declutter video, this has probably been through 4 or 5 declutter videos, and every video I'm like, I'm gonna try it. I'm not letting go of it. I am finally December 2020, I am finally letting go of this palette. I feel like, come on now, at this point, if I haven't tried this, like something in me just does not want to. I'm gonna just let it go to someone else who will do something with it, because clearly it is not me. So I will finally say goodbye to the Sugar Pill palette. This is from Melt Cosmetics. It's the Veda palette. It looks like this on the inside. Now, it might look like I have not used this eyeshadow palette, but I actually have. I used this earlier this year, and like, Melt don't miss on their eyeshadow palettes. This is not going anywhere. This is the very summer eyeshadow, and like colorful summer eyeshadow, and a little bit more like toned down summer eyeshadow palette. So this, I don't think any of my Melts eyeshadows are going anywhere because they've got some of the best in the game. Now this next one might hurt some feelings because I feel like I already know what I'm going to do, and you probably already know what I'm gonna do. It is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. This is what it looks like on the inside, and I just feel like, come on, after seeing the Mothership Mega palette and then this one, like, what is the point of keeping this? Granted, like, I love the brown shades. You'll probably see like the dust from me using the pans on this one. I love the brown shades for like my transition, my crease and stuff like that, but it's like, I have that in the Jackie palette, I have that in the Tammy palette, and then I have the Mothership whatever palette. So it's like, I don't really need to keep this one, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. So I have this Hamburger palette. It's colorful. Ooh, I just dug my, no, actually, no, I missed it, okay. It's a colorful palette, is what it looks like on the inside. I was using this a lot for those neon eyeshadow looks that I was doing. It's a nice palette, it's pigmented, stuff like that. But I know the brand is problematic, and it's like, I don't even know if you can get this anymore. But, oh, actually, the mirror in this is nice. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because I feel like at this point I have other rainbow eyeshadows, and I don't pick this up that much anymore. But I was gonna say, but, like, if you wanted to, but again, like I said, the brand is problematic. The order itself, like, mine didn't come until I got on them, like, you gonna ship this stuff out, so I'm gonna just go ahead and part ways. Okay, the e.l.f. Jalapeno Bite-Size Eyeshadow Palette is not going anywhere. Okay, probably my favorite green eyeshadow palette, and it only has 4 shades. One is missing because it broke when it broke during shipping. So I just, it just like fell out, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna get rid of the rest of it. So it's technically only 3 shades, but still the best green eyeshadow palette that I have, and it's e.l.f. It's affordable. Go ahead, get you one. If you haven't, get the other bite size while you're at it. All that good stuff, right? So this is the NYX Off Tropic Shadow Palette. This is what it looks like. Again, you'll see a theme of a lot of color in the eyeshadow palettes that I have. This is actually a nice formula. It's a nice formula. I do want to get that like 80 pan palette, so it's like, then do I really need this? But it's nice though. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this one. It's nice. Yeah. Okay, this is also from Melt. This is what this one looks like on the inside. This one I have not used. I haven't used this one. So it's like, I can't get rid of this one yet because I haven't given it a chance if it could be my favorite palette or not. And look at the inside. It's giving, this is definitely one I would break out in winter, and we are now in winter, so that's my excuse on why I can keep this one. Okay, this is from Beauty Bay. It's their Bright Matte eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. This can't go anywhere because, I mean, at this point, it's like if you need a shade, you're gonna get it in this one. This is the ultimate rainbow eyeshadow palette, so this isn't going anywhere. It's no shimmers, which I don't usually do like all matte eyeshadow. Sometimes I've done all shimmer, but I don't usually do all matte. Like, I'll usually throw some type of shimmer or something in there. So this is an all matte eyeshadow palette, but like this, again, the perfect combination, because if you've got a shimmer somewhere else, you can get, you know, a matte to finish off the rest of the look out of this palette. So is it going anywhere? Absolutely not. Alright, this is from Alamar Cosmetics. I think I got this in like a subscription box, like a BoxyCharm or something like that. This is what it looks like on the inside. I actually have used this a lot. It's a nice palette. The formula of the shadows is nice. The shimmers, the mattes, they've got depth to them, so they show up on my skin tone. But I have all these colors in other palettes, so I will let go of this one. It's been around for a minute. It's served its purpose. Okay, this is from Urban Decay. It's their Stoned Vibes palette. I forgot that this even came out. Actually, I just filmed a video. I probably should have included this in that video. You'll see that video before you see this one, so I feel like you'll know what I'm talking about. But like, no, Urban Decay. Like, what is Urban Decay? Like, why are you like this? Who makes the decisions at Urban Decay? And then they come out with this, you know, Normani is the brand ambassador. And it's like, here we are in December. Y'all hear anything about this? Anyone talking about it? Do you hear Urban Decay talking about it? Like, Urban Decay, this palette, or this collection, the Naked palettes, it's just like, okay. So I have this palette from Il Makiage in collaboration with Rico Nasty, which is really the only reason that I bought it, because of who they were collabing with. I didn't really care for the shimmers in this. Like, this palette was just a little too dry for me, and I mean literally dry. Like, if you put your brush in the pan and it feels dry in there, it's like, okay. I mean, you got something out of it, but like not enough for me to keep it. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this palette. So another eyeshadow palette from NYX. It looks like this on the inside. This one I'll let go of. Like, I was thinking about it, mind you, both of them kind of have the same formulas, nice looking palettes on the inside, but like this one is more up my alley, so that's why I'm gonna keep this one. But this one I can easily say I will finally let go of that one. Another one of the like same color palettes from Colourpop. I haven't used this one either, but this one's purple, and this is less up my alley type of purple, so I'm gonna go ahead and let go of that palette. Now this is probably the best eyeshadow palette that Urban Decay has ever put out. Debate your mama if you feel differently, okay? It is the Born to Run eyeshadow palette. I am not letting go of this. One of my like top like all palettes I've ever tried before. Everyday eyeshadow palette, easy to travel with, has a nice mirror. I'm not gonna turn it around so it doesn't, you know, start playing with y'all. But I really like this palette. Like I said, best eyeshadow palette that they have ever put out. But they don't give this collection enough love on their social medias, so I do that every time I talk about it here on my channel. This is the Revealed Smoky palette. Who is this? Oh, it's from Coastal Scents. I got this because I did a video like going back to brands that people loved years ago, so I used it for that video. I'm gonna let go of this because the color story is just not for me. It's giving me eggs. It's giving me oatmeal, just no. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that one go, but it was nice to, you know, revisit a brand that you haven't heard about in a while in that video. This is the Garden Variety palette from Colourpop. It looks like this on the inside. One of the nicer ones that they put out this year. Again, when you start getting like purples and darker greens and stuff like that in Colourpop eyeshadow palettes, that's when you're actually gonna have like the pigment that works on my skin. But I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. This is gonna fall over. I have this palette from BH Cosmetics, probably the best palette BH Cosmetics has come out with. It is their Ultimate Matte 42 Color Shadow Palette. They're like cream mattes, which was like new to me. I still think this is the only palette I have that does that. If I could open it, it looks like this on the inside. I really like how this works, but this one I don't feel works the best with others because, you know, it is like a cream matte eyeshadow formula, but like using it all together, this palette is very nice. Do I want to keep you? I do want to keep you. I do. I like this palette from BH. I might do a video like revisiting BH because like what has BH been up to in recent time? Like, what are they doing? So I have this palette from Revlon. I think this is part of their like Megan collab. No, I'm just gonna go ahead, just no, and then let's move on. So Rare Beauty is a brand that came through this year and like really shocked me, okay? Because like I like the stuff that they've been putting out, including these eyeshadow palettes. They came out like these mini holiday palettes. This one is Confident Energy, and it looks like this. Ooh. And then this one is Magnetic Spirit. Ooh. And it looks like this. Now, and if you saw the video that I did on this, I feel like looking at them separately, you're like, I feel like I gotta think on what to do with those separately, but like having them together, they do what they have to do. They complement each other nicely. If you could only get one, I'd probably say go with this one, but y'all also know like my favorite color is green. But if you're looking at it and you can see looks in your mind that you could do with this, get it, okay? Because the formula is nice. The pigment, listen, I was like, okay, Rare Beauty, okay, I see y'all. All right, Okay, and now one of my all-time favorite palettes, which I just learned this year that OPB Beauty was Black owned, but is their Rainbow Splash palette. Just look at the outside, the back of it, the inside. That's how you know a palette is loved, when it looks very used. But I love the color story of this palette. I love that it also has the kind of foil shimmers in it. Plays nice with other eyeshadows, plays amazing just using the palette itself. The mattes, the shimmers, it blends, pigmented. Like, I love this eyeshadow palette. So of course, that's not going anywhere. Then I have this palette from Patricia Bright and Makeup Revolution. They collabed like this time last year, and it looks like this. On the inside, again, the shimmers have that formula that I like. They're pigmented, it blends nicely together. Am I gonna keep it though? I love me some Patricia Bright, but I think I'm gonna have to let go of this palette because I haven't picked it up since maybe like earlier this year, so I'm gonna declutter it. Okay, so I have here the Mented Everyday eyeshadow palette. It's just literally the most neutral eyeshadow palette that you can have. Am I getting rid of this? No. Okay, because it is the ultimate everyday eyeshadow, especially if you just do like a neutral, natural eye every day before work, if you're wearing makeup to work at this point, wherever you're wearing makeup to at this time. It's just that it's basic. But it's okay to be basic sometimes, because sometimes you just need basic. Sometimes you need, listen, I just need a lid color, a crease, and maybe something in my outer eye, if that, okay? There are plenty of people like, I just need this one color to throw on my entire eye and call it a day. So we're gonna keep it because it's our basic that we need. So then there is this signature palette, Sweet Dreams from Ofra, which looks like this, and I know I have not use this, and I know I said I can't let it go if I haven't given it a chance yet, but like I lied, I can let that go. Moving on, this is from Melt. It's their Gemini palette. It looks like this on the inside. Like, come on, you open it, it screams fall. Okay, I can't let this go. Their formula is up there with some of the best. Okay, Melt. And I think I have like 2 more Melt eyeshadow palettes. They're not going anywhere either. I don't think I've used this one yet. I don't think I have not. Which again, let's see how they both scream fall, but in like 2 different kind of ways. Between Gemini and what is this? 27. Like they're just not going anywhere. And this one I haven't even used, so I can't get rid of it if I haven't used it. Ignore what I just said about Ofra, okay? This is the other part of the Rico Nasty Il Maquillage collaboration. Looks like this. I got rid of the first half of the collab. I can declutter this one because I feel like this looks like the NYX palette that I kept. Like I said, I don't really care for the formula of their eyeshadows, so I mean, listen, the packaging is dope. I mean, it's gonna be dope. It's Rico Nasty, but like, even I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but like here in the pan, like you see how it's just stained this shade, because that's from trying to dig in there and get it to work and mix these shades with some of the other shades in the palette. Like, I shouldn't have to do that much for eyeshadow. Like, I really should not have to do a lot for your eyeshadow to work, so I'll declutter that. And I have more of the little thingy palettes. I know I've used both of these. This one is Just My Luck from Colourpop. I'm not decluttering this one. Y'all know favorite color is green. This looks nice on the eyes, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. And then this one is called Blue Moon, and it looks like that. I'm not. Listen, it's not like Colourpop be out here giving me all the range, okay? So when I find the few that I really do like, I'm gonna hold on to them. So put that down there. And then I have one more from, but I think this is like a pastel version. It's In a Trance from Colourpop, and it looks like this. And yeah, this can go. This probably, because of how light it is, isn't going to pick up. But like this one, I already know when I open a palette, and I can't maybe like specifically remember me sitting down and try it, but just looking at what it looks like in the pan, I know I was digging in this to get it to work for me. So no. And then the last, the last palette that I have is from Melt Cosmetics. It's their Smoke Session palette. One, this was a gift from Bemi, so again, I don't like getting rid of gifts. And two, it was a gift that I've actually used this before. This was fire on the eyes. Again, green. But this is fire on the eyes, okay? I just, not going anywhere. Now looking at this, you could say, well, if you had to pick between this one and the Gemini palette that looks like this one, I'd pick Smoke Sessions. Like if you could only get one of these, I'd pick Smoke Sessions. But like, I've got both, so why not keep both? Oh, I was like, I know I'm missing something, because where is that Modern Dreamer palette? But this is the palette from NYX that I said I was going to keep, so I can go ahead and declutter the other one. This, you guys see, it's a little more colorful up my alley, but it does have some more like neutral shades in there as well. I just really like this palette because I feel like it looks a little more rainbow, but it's not so much rainbow palette. So I feel like sometimes when a palette is like straight up rainbow, it's got a type of like vibrancy to it, where it's like you don't want that for every, you know, yellow, green, orange, stuff like that. Sometimes you just want like a basic little blue, and then here comes this rainbow palette with this blue that you can see from down the street, and it's like, you're doing a little too much for me right now. So I like these type of kind of rainbow palettes, but kind of not, because they usually have, you know, like other depths of color in them. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, but this one was getting me through the summer, okay? So let me go ahead, put that down with the rest of them. And yeah, so I counted, I will have the original number that we started with on the screen somewhere, but I counted, I'm getting rid of 23 palettes today. I honestly don't know where these things came from, but what this tells me is that I have no business buying eyeshadow like anytime soon, especially since there were so many where I'm like, I haven't tried this yet. I have no business buying eyeshadows anytime soon, so at least I can go through the ones I said I haven't tried. But yeah, see, I already feel lighter. I like decluttering, because it's like, why are you here? It's taking up space just there, especially some of the ones I'm like why do I still have you at this point, sugar pill? So that is it for my declutter. I hope, you know, seeing this has inspired some of you to go to your collection and say, like, do you really have a purpose being here? Do you? Is it okay for me to let you go? It is okay for me to let these palettes go, for them to find new homes, all of that stuff. So make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, your notification bells, all of that down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.